So for the green beans in the Farsi style, the ones I'm actually using at the moment are these. These are like British English runner beans, only these are the stringless runner beans which we can get. There's loads of different beans you can try, but just about any green bean is going to go really well with this recipe. Alright, I particularly love these. They've got a nice sort of waxy texture to them and they're delicious as well. So without the other things I've got here is some tomato puree, which I've got about a half a tablespoon of tomato puree. I've got half an onion which I've cut up into fairly broad pieces, comme ça, like that, about the size of your thumb, maybe just a bit bigger sometimes. I've also got a couple of tomatoes. I'll be adding about 4 or 5, maybe 6 of these to the dish. So when I get my tomatoes, I pick out the ones that are starting to go wrinkled for the cooking, and the rest of them I'm going to chuck on my sandwiches or eat separately. So I'm probably going to just use 4, maybe 4 of them. That's good. And the other half of the onion I'll wrap and put away in the fridge. The other thing I'll need for this is some salt and pepper. Very, very simple dish, but really, really delicious. And once you've tried it, I promise it'll become a staple in your home. Alright, I'm just going to move this out of the way quickly so you can see me do the chopping of these beans. Right, beans, quick ways. This is Pete. This is the Lazy Cook. I've got quick ways of doing everything. What I do is I tap those down so they're all nice and neat in the bottom, and I want to trim them. So I actually trim them through the plastic. Yeah, you see what I did there? That's all cut off and the ends are trimmed off neatly. Now I turn it upside down and do the same that side. Let me just throw that in the bin, right, and do the same that side. There we go. So there we are, neatly trimmed beans. Now we can remove them from the plastic and just flip them over and start cutting them up. For this dish I want them roughly the same size as the piece of onion, so I just put the knife through them like that, and I'll get set up now to show you the cooker. Alright, okay, so for the beans Farsi style, I neglected to tell you about the garlic, so I chopped up 2 cloves of garlic to go with this amount, okay, 2 cloves. If you don't like garlic, you're probably on the wrong channel, my old love. Alright, because we love garlic here. Right, you can omit garlic if you wish. First of all, I'm going to get the pan nice and hot. I've got my trusty old Renaware pan there. That's really gorgeous. I don't think they make this particular one anymore. Beautiful pan. Anyway, into there goes the garlic, and that starts to sizzle straight away, and that sweetens the fat. And then in on top of that goes the onion. Get all that in. There we go. And switch that around. Okay, just keep that stirring for a while. Medium to high heat. Don't let the garlic burn, just keep it moving. Don't let the garlic burn. It can brown a little bit, but don't let it burn. Right, once you get to that stage, it starts to soften, the onion's starting to go translucent, and the garlic is just starting to brown at the edges. That's where you want to be with this. Get in with your beans, whatever beans you got, chopped up to whatever length you like. I prefer mine like this. And then we get that in there, stir it round. Just keep that stirring a little bit. The smell from that comes off really nice now. And into that now we put in the the puree, the tomato paste. Okay, that goes in there. Stir that around. Very simple dish this, very, very simple indeed. Now for this one, it's better to use a saucepan with a nice tight fitting lid, and preferably one without holes in it. So what I'm doing is I'm halving up those tomatoes, those little mini tomatoes, or you can use one big tomato and just, you know, just chop it up into bits. Drop that in there. At this point, stir it in, and then we're going to want some water in it. So this sounds like very little, but we're using a shot glass full of water. Stir it around, and then you start to see the tomato paste forming the basis of a sauce with the garlic and the onion. I should have used Spoonzilla, shouldn't I? But I'm absolutely tired of him upstaging me all the time, you know. He's just such a drama queen. I'll put another shot glass of water in there because it was looking a wee bit dry. And now, so you need to get to about that level of liquid. So it's not a lot of liquid, look. Not a lot at all. That's it. And then we just now, this is the point at which you can add some salt and some pepper. So in goes the pepper. Yeah, I'm not going to repeat that one again, but you know, put in as much as you like. That's as much as I like. And in some salt. I don't need to tell you how to salt food, you know how much salt you like. And you can always adjust for salt at the end once you've tasted it. Now, this is the magic. This is the kitchen magic. Put a lid on, wait a second, a minute or two, and put your hand on the lid. And there's a point at which your hand gets too hot to touch. So, and it's at this point where you simply just turn the heat off and walk away. Alright? You walk away for a good 10 minutes, and when you come back the beans are cooked, but they're not overcooked. Yeah? They're not cooked the old-fashioned English way. The old-fashioned English way was you put them in water and you boil them with salt until all the flavour had gone out of them, and then you tipped all the goodness down the sink and you kept the mush behind. Right, this way you get to enjoy the vegetable with its natural crunch and with its more natural taste, and with a bit of texture left in it. Alright, so we'll be back as soon as that's done. Alright, time to lift the lid and check this out. Oh, look at that. Nice. Let me just take one piece out and test it for doneness. Where are you? There you are, look. Hello. There you are. It's crunchy, it's cooked. It's still got the greenness in it, if you know what I mean. It's still got that in it, and that is just perfect. I am going to take that completely off the heat because I don't want that to carry on cooking. Let me change the camera angle and just show you that. That does look alright, doesn't it? And trust me, that tastes so good with the onion, the garlic and the tomato in there to give it that extra umami flavour. And the texture of those beans is just absolutely perfect. I'm really going to enjoy that dish. That's really good. From my little taste, the only thing that needs now is a bit of salt and pepper. A little bit more. And a little bit more of that because I can. pepper free me. And I'm just going to keep the lid on that to keep that warm till I serve it.